Hello, it is here. We are kicking off the first week of the August Design Challenge with a week of inspiration and nailing down your design. So if you're listening to this at any other time, this is your first week of the challenge. And to recap, the aim of this challenge is to inspire you to create a new piece of work and to come away with an actual piece, a tangible piece of work at the end of this process. So at the end of August. So as I said, this is the first week and this is where it's all going to start. This is where everything comes together. And this week is about finding your inspiration and designing the piece of work that you're going to be working on. So take a moment to think about what inspires you. What makes you want to create? What lights you up? What are you drawn to? And what do you want to explore a bit more? What is it that makes you feel alive when you start working on it? And when you fills you with inspirations and creativity when you start immersing yourself in that space, in that situation, that place. So take time out of your workspace, away from your studio, away from your desk, your workbench, whatever it is where you normally work. Take time away from that and observe what's around you. What are you connecting with? What sparks your imagination? And make notes. Have a journal with you to write down all your ideas. I have my journal here, and this is where all my ideas and sketches for bits, sometimes they may be something that I'll never work on, but they are there and they have come from those moments of inspiration. I want the challenge to enable you to create something new, something you wouldn't normally do. It can be in the style of your work that you normally do, but just something that's maybe going to push you that little bit further. This is all about pushing your creativity and maybe into something that you didn't think you would do before. So then it's all about getting that design down. So once you've kind of explored your inspiration and you've got out there and come up with ideas and you've sketched out your ideas, maybe go back through some of your sketchbooks if you already have them, and if there's a design in there that maybe you loved at the time but you just thought, oh, I maybe haven't got the skills to make that, or it's not something that fits in with the type of work that I do, then maybe consider exploring one of those designs that possibly you've put to one side for a while. If there's something you already have, take a look at those ideas and see what comes out of those. Maybe make a plan for a couple of those designs. See which design out of your inspiration, out of your sketches, really takes your fancy and that you really want to try and create, and then have a look at how you're going to approach this. There are two things to look at. Firstly, what's the story behind the piece that you're going to make? What's inspired you to make it? And just make a note of that at this stage, because it's fresh in your mind. It's happening now. And make a note of that. We'll really explore the story behind the piece. When I'm designing for a client, I talk to them a lot about the type of thing they're looking for, obviously, but also about their lives and what they enjoy doing and what their design style is. And you can apply a similar approach to this when you're designing a completely new piece. Really explore why you're wanting to make it. Just make notes of that, because it's going to really help with your telling of your story later on, telling your audience why this piece has come about. Maybe you've gone on a walk and there's a certain tree that means something special to you. Where we live, there's a tree on top of the hill behind us, and it's very windswept and it's been there for forever. I can't remember never seeing it there. It's been there ever since my children were toddlers, and they've always called it the magic tree. There's nothing remotely magic about it, but they've always called it the magic tree, and they've built a little stone circle, and over the years other people have added to this stone circle. So it's something that's always there, and it holds a lot of meaning for us as a family, because it's been part of our life as a family. We've taken the dogs up there. One of the dog's ashes is sprinkled up there, so it's always been there. And that might be something similar to that, might be something that inspires you. So really consider at this stage what the story is behind the potential piece that you're going to make, and spend the week really honing in on your creativity, honing in on that inspiration. What are the colours, the form, the feeling. What is it that you want to portray with this new design, with this new piece of work? And you will know from your own craft discipline, from the type of work that you do and the type of art that you do, you'll get a feeling for how it might work, how it might start coming together. And maybe you'll need to practice some skills, and we'll work on that next week. That's week 2 of the challenge, really starting the production. And if that's practicing skills, that's when you're going to be doing that. So do start considering how you're going to put this piece together and how it will work for your discipline, for your art and craft discipline. The main focus of this week is about design and mapping it out and coming up with bringing that design to life so you can start working on it next week. So when you have your design, your final design from your drawings, from your sketches, when you have that ready and you're starting to see how it's going to come together, start planning it out intricately. Now, it might be that you work quite organically and it just evolves and takes shapes as you're working on it. And that's great, but you may also need to have a certain amount of materials, and you may need to have some measurements of what the final piece is going to be like. So we're mapping out the details as much as possible of the piece. And obviously it may evolve as you're making it. But at this stage, I want to make sure that you have any materials ready that you need to work with for next week. So as well as designing the piece, you're also going to be establishing whether you need to order in any other materials so that you can start work on the actual piece next week so that you're ready to start. And whether that's practicing with a sample or if it's starting work on the final piece, you're going to have these materials in place. And so that's what you also need to get nailed in this week. It's a 4-week challenge, so we are going quickly. So being prepared and making decisions is really important. Usually you might spend a lot longer on this design stage. You might go back and forth with designs over several weeks, or with a client over several weeks, making decisions, establishing whether it's the right piece that you want to make, whether it's the right piece for the client, weighing it all up. But for this challenge, because it's only 4 weeks, you have to be decisive. You have to make the decisions to move forward. So this first decision that you're making this week is 1, go out and find the inspiration. Really go into what moves you creatively and work on a design that you want to make going forward. So make a decision on what piece you're going to make, and then make a decision on how it's going to come together and what materials you need to have to hand, so that when it comes to next week, week 2 and week 3, when you're working on the production of the piece, you have everything to hand and you're not waiting for orders to come in. It may be very quick and you may be able to design the piece in one session, and you know exactly what it is you want to do. You maybe have been thinking about this for a while since you signed up to join in with the challenge. But if you find that you've come up with a design really quickly, I want you to ask yourself, have you come up with it really quickly because you're used to doing it this way? Is it something that you're so used to doing that you're able to put design together really quickly? And if the answer is, yes, maybe it is, that is what's happened, take a moment and think again whether you can challenge yourself any further. Can you push the style a little bit more? Can you push the techniques a bit more? Explore your skill set a little bit more when you're making this piece, because you want to come away at the end of August having an actual piece of work, but also grown creatively or technically. So you've developed, even if it's a tiny little skill that you've wanted to try and maybe haven't until now, really push yourself to have a go at it. I want this piece that you make in this challenge to be something that pushes you further, pushes your skill level, pushes your design skills, and so that you grow as a maker and a crafter and as an artist. So if this spark of inspiration has led to an idea and a design that came quickly to you and you're really excited about, and it is pushing yourself a little bit more, seize the moment and build out more designs which you can take on and start working on, either at the same time or in the future. Inspiration can be very fleeting. So when it hits you, when you get inspired by something and you want to create, really nurture that moment. Really explore it as much as possible. There may be weeks or months when you're not feeling inspired, so make the most of it when you do. And really explore as many designs as possible, but make the decision to just work on one for this challenge. And don't forget, if you want to, it would be great to share what your inspirations are. You don't need to share your designs necessarily at this stage, but if you want to share what your inspirations are and what you're really drawn to, do use the hashtag over on Instagram, August Design Challenge, so that anyone else in the challenge can see what others are up to, and it really helps to keep us all accountable. I will be sharing my own journey on here on this channel, so you'll be able to see what I'm doing. But if you don't want to share your inspirations at this stage, that's absolutely fine, but keep a record of them. Collect photographs, collect video footage if you can, because it's a great way to build connection with your audience and build awareness around the piece that you're making, so that at the end of August, when you finish your piece over these 4 weeks and you're in marketing your work, you have your journey of this piece to tell other people. You have the story of it all coming together, and that really helps with the marketing and the selling of the work if you go on to sell it afterwards. So by sharing your inspirations, it can really help build that awareness. So that's it for this first week. Go out, be inspired, make sketches, design, be free. Don't be constrained by what you already do. Enjoy the process, enjoy this exploration process in this week one. And I'll be sharing the prompts for week 2 of the challenge in the next video. If you're watching this at any stage other than August, the next video in the challenge should be here somewhere for you to view when you're ready. So enjoy this week, and I will speak to you next week. Take care. Bye.